very recently actually, a young African-American man named Ralph in Texas reached out to the Tyra Show. And he reached out with a pretty disturbing email. He wrote that he's been called a thief, and that he's been called a drug dealer, and even the N-word to his face. And Ralph told us that as desperate as he is to get away from these hateful words, he cannot get away from them because they're coming from somebody that he shares 4 walls with, his roommate. But Ralph isn't the only one who has someone racist in their life. Check this out.
A typical Saturday in New York. We taped different people just going about their business. Working, running errands, spending time with their families. We set up a social experiment. We had people watch the video we shot to see what racial perceptions arise.
Don't be afraid, talk freely, tell us what you think, your opinions. So we're gonna take a look at a clip, and then you tell us what you think, all right?
Honestly, it looks like the black guy might have stole something from the white man or did something that he didn't like.
I'm black, and I agree with you. That's what it looks like to me. And basically, when you see a white man chasing a black man, I'm sorry. A white man is not going to chase a black man for no reason.
How do you know?
What? That's racist against your own race.
I know what I see, and I know what I know.
But it's more typical in my experience that a black guy is going to steal from you, that a black guy is going to shoot you.
What experience is that? Have you ever been gunpoint by a black man?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yes, personally, I have. When I walk past a black guy, then after I pass him, I make sure I still have my wallet. And that's no joke.
This is also coming from a person who also does not have any black friends.
I don't have people from my the black people from my hometown don't try to be white people's friends either. All right, if you sit here and because we're the crackers, we're the honkies, and that's straight up the.
If that's what you label yourself.
No, that's what they label me.
If you call me a, I'm gonna punch you right in your head. I'm gonna punch your head off.
Well, I've done it.
You done it?
I've done it to people. Yeah.
You wouldn't do it to me?
Well,
You call someone a
yes, I have. I'm from Texas, all right? You think about that. We still have Klan meetings within 30 miles from where I'm from.
I'm Dallas now,
all right?
from Arkansas.
All right, no. I'm not saying I'm justifying anything.
My dad has been so racist from the time I was little. I've been brought up that way.
Brittany, all right, how do you feel about black men? Do you think we're all the same?
Kinda, because the only reason why I think that is because I haven't met one that isn't like that. Black guys are cocky.
They're cocky?
They try to act like players, and most of them, they scare the living daylights out of me.
Do I scare you?
No, not from the way I was raised. I've always been taught that they can hurt you, like it scares me. I watch my news every night, and it's always some black guy up in Cincinnati shooting somebody else or robbing somebody, and I don't mean to be scared of them, It just, that's my first instinct.
Christian, would you say, are you afraid of black people?
No. I'm afraid of what they could do, but no.
So as we see, people had a lot to say with what we just saw, and we have them all here. Everybody that you saw on that tape is actually here today. But we're going to start with Ralph and his college roommate, Christian. Okay, so Ralph, you wrote that letter to the Tyra Show, kind of like a cry for help, not really knowing what to do. Tell me when these comments started from Christian.
Probably the second day he moved in.
The second day?
Right.
Wow. Okay, what was the first stuff that he started to say?
The first thing he ever said to me was, "What's up, N-word? You know what you don't do that." Okay.
What made you say that to him, Christian, when you first met him?
Actually, when I first met him, I didn't say a word to him for the first day. I honestly thought that he was going to be listening to rap music nonstop, and I thought he was a thief, probably a drug dealer, and that was just my perspective on it.
So you didn't say anything. So then the first things that you did say was the N-word.
Yes, ma'am.
And why was that?
That was funny to me. I mean, where I'm from, we say that to each other. Like I said in the video, we refer to each other as the N-word, and then we turn around and laugh about it. They laugh about it. It's okay.
You mean white guys to white guys? Or white guys to black guys?
White guys to white guys.
White guys to white guys. But there's a difference, when you're saying it because of you thinking certain things. And you thought that he was a thief, and you thought that he was,
Well,
tell me about what happened on on Super Bowl, Ralph?
Like the Super Bowl party at first, you know what I'm saying? This is how he met my friends. He like just bust in like, freeze, y'all under arrest, we're looking for a black guy. Majority of my friends are all black. So he's like, oh, we hit the lotto, you know what I'm saying, like that. And I was like, come on, man. First thing that came to my mind was like, there's about to be some physical problems going on, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Christian, you say that it's just funny, but then you also say, but I'm from Texas and we have Ku Klux Klan, and so what is your view of black people?
I honestly thought they were thieves, probably drug dealers. Generally, they don't have money. I mean, from where I'm from, they don't. They might get out of high school, but nothing after that.
And I know that you had some surprises when it came to Ralph. What was one of the surprises with Ralph?
Actually, it surprised me that he didn't listen to much rap music, that he actually had, his parents had set up him a college fund, or trust fund, and I don't see that. Me personally, I had to work through college. I'm having to work through college. He has it handed to him. His parents actually set up, him some money, put back, and I was surprised by that.
Why do you guys still live together if you have somebody that you live together, Ralph, that you feel is a racist?
Because probably I was like living there before he was, and then I shouldn't have to be taken out my comfort zone, so he could, you know what I'm saying, no matter where I go, he's still gonna think that way, and no matter where I go, I'm still probably the time gonna hear it, so I shouldn't have to take myself out of my comfort zone and to break my lease and probably get paired up with somebody who's just as he is.
And Christian, why would you stay in a place where you seem not to be comfortable around black people?
Well, to be honest, I moved down here with one of my best friends, and he is actually in the same apartment. There's 4 of us in the same apartment, and I didn't feel like I had to leave. I honestly don't care what he thinks.
You don't care what he thinks?
No.
Okay. So I know that the racism is not just to black people. Ralph, tell me what happened when you guys were out at a restaurant.
At a restaurant, he like just blurts out things, and like one time we had a Muslim or Arabian waiter, you know what I'm saying, like I understand, everybody understood what he was saying, but Christian, he was like, what, huh? Can you say it again like that? Come on now, it's a time and place for everything.
Now, what did your mother have to say about you living with somebody that says the N-word to you and says these racist things to you? What does your mother have to say about you living with somebody?
Well, my mother, she actually offered to like break my lease. She offered to pay for me to like leave and all that, but I told her I shouldn't have to do that.
Okay. I know someone has a comment for Christian. You can come on down. What do you have to say?
I heard you say that like a lot of things towards your roommate, but do you feel that way just towards black males, or do you feel that way towards like black women too? Like if you were to see me, would you label me a thief or like anything like
that? From where I'm from, black women don't hold themselves as high. Generally, ghetto women, I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but if you were to hold yourself as in stature of Tyra Banks, business suits, but no, generally yes, drug dealer or wife or girlfriend to a drug dealer, probably a lot of kids.
You know what's so funny, Christian? If I close my eyes, I would think that you were black. There's something about the tone of your voice and the bass and the baritone, because black is not just slang. There's features. We have certain physical features as well as like vocal cords. I know that sounds really strange, but when I close my eyes, I hear a black man. I know that you're probably like, oh Lord, but I do. What does that make you feel like with me saying that? Let me close my eyes while you say it.
Makes me feel like I need to change, honestly, but I don't know, it's kind of discriminating to me right now.
Makes you angry?
Yes.
So saying the N-word and all that other stuff is not so bad, but when I close my eyes, I hear a black guy, that's bad?
To me, yes.
We'll be right back.
It's crazy, man.
The Tyra Show received letters and emails and phone calls from people who want help changing someone in their life who they say is racist. A social experiment was set up to find just how negative their beliefs really are. Check it out.
Our group watched 3 different dating scenarios.
I think interracial dating is disgusting. Like, honestly, it turns my stomach.
I would never date a black woman, not because of your skin tone, just because it's the way I was raised. And you got to think about what the kid's going to be going through. I wouldn't want my kid to go through what y'all go through. No. I would not want
Exactly what you do to them. It can stop with you. It could stop with you.
A lot of typical stereotypes came up right away.
It's sexually derived. Because stereotypically, black guys are bigger.
It's a sexual thing to me. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it.
Mandingo.
Yeah, the black man is the strong mandingo.
I think white girls that go out with black guys are sluts.
I don't know, but it comes off as she's slutty.
The Asian woman is just a fetish, exotic thing. It's a fetish. It's a sex with an Asian woman.
I used to have white friends who come to me and be like, yo, your cousin's hot. And I'm like, got me a little bit of yellow fever.
I think Asian women are similar to black men. I feel that a lot of Asian women sell out in their Asian community just like the black men sell out in their community. He has issues within himself, and he gets a white trophy on his arm just for show.
But when it came to a white man with a black woman, Latrice felt quite differently.
Black women are educated. They want a strong man. Basically, we're on the same level. We have the same goals.
And the group was quick to call her on it.
The woman can sell out too. You probably knew you could be dating a white man because you want to get somewhere.
But it's going to be love. It's going to be love.
Why is it love for you and not love for him? I don't understand.
It's fake and it's not for show.
No, that's the difference.
Hold on, question. Have you been with a white man?
I've dated one.
You a sellout, man.
No,
you a sellout.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that got heated. Okay, Latrice. Okay, so tell me, there's like a lot of passion there. Tell me where that comes from. I know that when you were in high school back in Arkansas, tell me what happened with Black Eye that you were dating there.
Well, this guy I really liked. I thought he really liked me. We went out to the movies. We really clicked really good. The next day, went back to school. He was all hugged up with a Mexican girl. And I just went up to him, and he acted like nothing ever happened. So he was infatuated with Mexican and white girls. So it seemed like it was all a fake.
Wow. So what if your daughter brought home a white man or a Mexican man?
You know what? If it's love and not for show, I'm okay with it.
We have Julie and Brittany here right now. They're actually best friends. Now tell me, Julie, one time you were in an interracial relationship. Tell me what happened with and how Brittany responded to that.
Well, Brittany and I have been friends since 6th grade, and we come from a very small rural town in the South where often racist views are common and they're accepted. And one day I decided that I was going to date a Latino. Well, she found out about it during school, and she came up to me in the lunchroom, and she got in my face and said, "Who are you dating?" And I told her, and she looked at me and said, "You're dating a Mexican?"
Brittany, what's that about?
I don't think that it's right that she dated a Mexican. I wasn't brought up that way. I come from a Christian family. I'm told that you're not supposed to date outside your race.
Wait, slow down.
Sorry.
Wait, no. Wait, I just got real confused for a second. Okay, you said you come from a Christian family.
Yeah.
So say that again and slow down so I can understand.
I'm told that you're not supposed to date outside your race. Like, that's how I was brought up.
Because of Christianity? Explain that.
Well, my grandparents and my parents have told me not only once, like a lot of times, that it's in the Bible that you're not supposed to date outside your race. Like,
wow.
I know it sounds stupid, but that's what they tell me.
I'd love to see that passage. Okay.
Well, there you go, Julie.
What about the other things that you've been taught about love? You love your neighbor, love everybody the same, all those other values. Weren't you taught that too?
Yes, I was.
So is there like a little Mexican little sidebar that says but not Mexicans? I don't understand.
No.
No? So, okay, you said that your parents taught you that. But
yes.
So we understand parents, grandparents are older, it's a different generation, but how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, so you're a baby. So when do you start becoming responsible for you?
I guess now. Like, that's just how I was brought up. That's what I've always been told. It's hard to change something that you've been told for so long, you know?
Yeah, I think after a while it becomes choices, because I was brought up and learned a lot of stuff, and I don't necessarily agree with my mama with everything that she said. I'm not talking about race, but just other things. I don't necessarily agree with her. You know, like I reached a point in my life where I started thinking, you know, on my own and making my own decisions. And you're 19 and you have time to do that. You're still very young. Kalisha was also in the group, and she got emotional during the interracial dating conversation. Check this out.
Looked at the tape. It's like a dream to me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know it's hard.
Nobody seems to understand how hard it is. How hard it is for a black woman sometimes.
It's hard for a black woman. It's hard for a black woman.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm educated. I was always raised to be able to take care of myself, because if a black man didn't want me, then I would have to still be able to raise my kids or take care of myself. So that's how I was raised. But what hurts so much is that even after accomplishing all of this, black men don't want me, white men don't want me, Asian men don't want me, Latin men don't want me, and it's so discouraging, because at the end of the day, I hear everything that you guys just said, these stereotypes. I'm loud, I'm aggressive, I'm gonna beat my man up or whatever, and that's just not the case.
Wow, that was so painful and so unexpected. I didn't expect that to happen. Where's that coming from?
I think it was because kind of right after we saw that part, you know, we all kind of started talking about it, and I heard things come in at the table like I would never date a black woman ever, and you know, I wouldn't want the color, and I wouldn't want my kids, and all of that is very hard. And even to watch this tape right now, it put me right back in that moment.
Do you not feel attractive?
I feel attractive, and I love myself every day. I look in the mirror and I think my color is wonderful. I think it's unique. I love it, thank you. It just doesn't resonate with other people, and you know, I'll try to date out of my race, or I'll try to even date, you know, guys in my race, and everybody just kind of has that disgusting perception.
I think you're choosing the wrong guys. I think you are.
Is it true too?
You're a beautiful girl. We'll be right back. What if someone you cared about had extremely racist views? Would you try to enlighten them? We're with people who are hoping that this social experiment will force someone they love to see just how prejudiced they're being on a daily basis. So let's see what the group had to say about our next scenario.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a look at another clip and give me your reaction to what you see.
By worked for the airlines for 8 years, and even before that, I'm always conscious of someone looking strange with a box.
Someone as in Muslim?
That's true.
Do you presume that he is Muslim? Because I can tell you right now that's a Sikh, not a Muslim.
I don't understand the difference. I think all of you are Arabic. All of you are Muslim.
And that's a huge misconception.
But either way, he has a box and he's looking around.
I personally think he's carrying a bomb and he might be planting it somewhere.
I agree. Ever since 9/11 and everything, that's the first thing that pops into my head.
I speak Arabic. I was born there in Syria for 19 years. I've been an Arab person. Honestly, I think if the police see anyone walking around like that, they should automatically stop them, question them.
I'm sorry, does your mother wear the headscarf?
No.
Okay, well,
I won't
I'm
go out
sure.
in public like that.
Why?
I tell my mom, if you want to go outside with me, just dress normal.
It hurts me. After September 11th, the things that I've gone through, I have been spit on. I've had, moments where not even children, I'm talking about someone in his 30s, pull my scarf off my head.
I was there since I was 2 years old. I would just want to be American. If I had to fight a war, I'd fight an American one.
You don't understand what it's like to wait for my sister to come home from school crying and, blood on her face. This is not fair. I can't even explain what would go through your mind if I was to go up to someone black and be like, you're a
Flat out, I'm appalled, I'm upset, my heart is racing, because the only threat I see here at this table is pure ignorance. That's all I see.
So, Rami, would you say you're embarrassed?
Wow. I wouldn't say embarrassed. I would say honestly disgusted. That's what I would say.
So right now, sitting in front of me, you're disgusted?
After September 11, I'm completely disgusted by the actions of my people.
Okay, joining me now is Rami, who you saw on the tape, and his best friend, Natalie. So, Natalie, Rami was saying a lot of harsh things in that tape. but you've experienced it firsthand as his friend. Like, tell me, you guys, if you guys are like walking down the street and you see someone in like a Muslim garb, tell me what he does.
Well, he'll pull me across the street, even if traffic is coming.
The opposite side of the street?
Yeah. And if I won't cross the street, he'll curse at them, call them terrorists, or curse at me.
Really? And then tell me what happens on the train.
If he sees someone in a turban, someone who appears to be Muslim, he will not get on the train. I will get on the train and he will stay on the platform.
And he will stay on the platform?
Yeah.
And Rami, what is your nationality?
I'm Arabic.
You're Arabic. So when I asked you that and you say that, what does that make you feel when you say I am Arabic?
Honestly, I'm still disgusted because of everything that I hear from overseas that's going on. There's only beheadings, people taking hostages, violence. There's nothing good coming out from my own people overseas.
So I can understand you being upset about specific things that are happening, but it seems that you have blanketed your entire people, all of your people, and have to the extreme. When did this start for you?
This started after September 11th.
After September 11th. So would you say before you were Arabic and proud?
Yes.
And then after the towers were hit and destroyed and the people perished, this is when this happened?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So one thing you said is you said that your mother, you won't allow her to wear her veil anymore in public. What does that make her feel like? Because she must be proud of her heritage and her religion and wants to represent that in public.
She's proud of her heritage, but in the same sense, she wants to spend time with her son. And I refuse to go outside with her if she's like that.
You refuse? You will not go outside with your mother if she has that on? Okay, and what about when your parents, do they speak Arabic?
Yes, my parents speak to me in Arabic, and actually I answer them in English.
You answer them in English. You refuse. What about dating? So when you date somebody, you know, you're starting to get to know somebody, and a guy like you your race could be like a lot of different things. So I'm sure you get around to this, oh, what's your nationality? What do you say?
I either say I'm either Spanish or Italian because I wouldn't want to be rejected by the girl.
You say that you're Spanish or Italian?
Yeah.
Then what about if you're falling in love with a girl and you want to introduce her to your parents?
That has never happened to me. I never brought a girl home because I wouldn't want them to hear my parents speaking to me in Arabic or maybe them seeing Arabic food in my house. So, and also my ID, I never showed a girl my ID. They don't know my last name. Because I have like 10 letters in my last name. So what would you think, honestly, like of a female and they see something like that? You'd be appalled. You wouldn't want to speak to me.
You think that girls would not want to speak to you if they knew that you had an Arabic last name? You ever heard of post-traumatic stress? You heard of that before? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Not really.
Okay, post-traumatic stress is what a lot of times somebody will go through after something terrible, terrible has happened. It could have happened to them personally. It could have been something that they witnessed. It could happen to like people that have been in wars, like veterans. It could happen to a mother who's lost her baby. It could happen to somebody that experienced a national, awful, most disgusting thing, one of the most disgusting things that our nation has ever experienced. And you having a connection, a historical heritage connection to some of the people that did it, could make you have post-traumatic stress. And so it's a very painful experience, and it's made you lash out on other people, but mostly, Rami, on yourself. And one thing is you can't run away from you. You can call yourself Italian, you can call yourself Spanish, you can hide your ID, you can tell your mother to take off her veil, but you're still an Arabic guy, and a beautiful Arabic guy. That's not going to go away.
Thank you, Tyra.
I want you, after this show, I want you to go home and I want you to Google post-traumatic stress. Okay. And I bet you'll see a lot of the symptoms there that you went through after September 11th. Okay. And I think that'll get you some healing and make you start loving yourself. Because I'm a black girl, I love myself. Okay? Change their friends and loved ones' racist perceptions. A social experiment was set up to expose how deep these judgments went. Check out what the group had to say about family and race.
Next, we show two similar video scenarios. A black mother with 3 children and a white mother with 3 children. Let's see if our group feels differently about the women.
When I see a white woman with kids, I think that she probably does have a good husband that helps support the kids. She probably went to college and she has a stable family to help take care of her kids.
I think they're well taken care of. They're going to be put through college. They're going to have money. They're going to have a bank account ready for them just in case something happens to them.
The dad's probably got some type of manager position making the money. She generally will have a job, but she could also be a stay-at-home mother.
She's got it made. She's white. Her skin is white. The white woman doesn't have to worry about anything.
She might be on welfare if she has 3 kids because she might be too lazy to work.
When I see a black woman with a lot of kids, I automatically think hood rat. I think she's on welfare, and she's also got like possibly a father for each of the kids.
If that woman has 3 kids, all of them 3 different baby daddies, come on. Please, that's a problem to think that.
When I see a black female with about 2 or 3, even maybe worse, to 4 children, I think they're definitely not going to be clothed good. They're all gonna be dirty. They're gonna be unfed.
Please don't think that that black woman is not capable of taking care of those kids. They're not dirty. They're not shallow. They should not be looked at as dirty hood rat children, and neither should that woman.
That's the stereotype that is associated with, African.
I'm not thinking that way because I'm tired of how people are mistreating black folk and giving a white person the higher level, the benefit of doubt of everything. Just need to change.
America's so racist, and why do we have a black president?
You're not black, you don't understand. Black women take care of her family, but the black woman has to struggle. We have to work extra hard. Black women struggle to get where they're at. As for white women, don't have to worry about anything.
Okay, I'm like so confused right now, and like I just find it insane that a lot of you guys were saying that black woman looked like she was on welfare and had kids, and she had diamonds in her ears and beautiful hair slicked back, and her kids looked like they had on the most gorgeous Baby Gap / Ralph Lauren clothes. So I am like, that is crazy to me. What would make you guys say that? With seeing that, I mean, you just saw the color of his skin and went to some total negative place and didn't pay attention to anything that she had on, anything of how she was representing herself, like a professional woman, a professional stay-at-home mom or a professional working woman. Where did that come from? Christian, where does that come from, that you see welfare with a polished woman like that?
Some of it's probably from the media, but personally, in my hometown, 100,000 people, I was taught to be racist, I guess, but every black woman I see is generally ghetto. My personal experience, no father figure, and if there is, then he's probably a drug addict. But I've seen personally like 3 different fathers and 3 different kids. It's just every occasion that I've seen.
Okay, I don't know what neighborhood you're from, and I cannot represent that because I don't know where you're from. But you have a television, you have a connection to the media, and I think that you're in college, you know that a black woman looking like that is not on welfare. And you can't say, oh, it's where I'm from and it's where I'm this and my town is so narrow, and the world is a lot bigger place, and I will not take that excuse anymore. That's just an excuse. Christian, that is an excuse. I mean, there is the internet, there is television. Back in my day, I'm older than all you guys. Back in my day, we had like 10 channels to choose from. You guys have like 1,000. Okay, the world is a much bigger place with so much more exposure. I think we choose to latch on to certain things. And I think it's time for us to stop making those excuses. We'll be right back. We've heard our group's racial perceptions when it comes to profiling, dating, and family. But now it's time to hear their thoughts about race and the workplace. The workplace. Check this out.
Our group watched a video of a Latina and a white woman in an office setting. Let's see what they thought.
Honest impressions. Who's the boss?
I think the white woman was the boss.
Why is the white woman the boss as opposed to the Latina?
How she was acting towards the Latina. Acting like she was higher or more important than her.
I think the white woman's probably the boss because she's white.
Do you think one is more educated than the other, Latina versus the white woman?
Well, I don't really see a lot of Latinas that really do good in school and then go on to college to get good careers.
What about their home life?
The ones that I went to school with, they weren't very hygienic. Like,
What do you mean by that?
Like they weren't very clean. Like
is that
they
your
would,
experience,
they
the
would come
people in
to
your school? Tell me
like,
about that.
stinking real bad. Like, and I know that's mean to say, but they would.
Me as a person, I don't understand the difference between Latinos. I'm not trying to offend anyone by putting a label on this whole group as Mexican. It's just, that's again what I was taught.
There's Spanish people from Caribbeans, there's Spanish people from Spain, which is Europe, there's Spanish people from South America. There are Hispanics in your community which you do contact with, right?
Yes, my best friend's Mexican.
So it'd be knowledge for you to know.
He calls himself white though, so I don't know if that makes any difference.
Have you been called various names, slang words? What have you been
I've been
called?
called Spigger because I'm Afro-Dominican. I've been called Spick. I've been called all types of names.
See, like right there, okay, my grandmother will not let Mexicans or black people in her house.
What type of pressure do you think that puts on your best friend?
Well, I mean, that's bad, I know.
That's why he calls himself white. But that's why he calls himself white, because he's trying to impress you and your family who are very ignorant.
Well, see, that's the difference. Their mother is raising their kids. She knows Spanish. She does not teach them that, all right? They do not know Spanish at all. That is one thing that I really don't like about Hispanic people. They don't try to bother to learn English, and they come to this country.
Whoa. There's more that do that don't. You just don't see it because you're ignorant and you think that way.
So it got very heated between Carlos. Stand up, Carlos. Tell me what was the thing that most upset you about this exchange?
The thing that upset me the most was the fact that, you know, people in America only think about Spanish people being Mexican or Puerto Rican. They don't see the array of colors that we do have. You know, we're beautiful people. We have, you know, from the lightest skin tone to the darkest skin tone. And, you know, just talking to him just made me see how ignorant there's still a population in the world is, you know what I mean? And that really upset me to know that people just think of Mexican and Puerto Ricans either. You know, they're dirty, they have kids, they're on welfare. That's just appalling to me. Like, that really hurts me and my people as in general, you know?
Christian, when he was saying that to you and started talking about like South America and Spain and Central America, all these things that he was saying, was it like a light bulb, like, oh yeah, you're right?
Well, not really, because if you see maybe in Florida over here in New York, but in Texas, the majority of Hispanics are Mexican. So
No, I'm not talking. Keep going back to Texas. I know I'm from California, so I understand there are a lot of Mexicans. Hay muchos mexicanos en Los Angeles. I understand that. But what I'm saying is... No, but what I'm saying is, did he enlighten you at all to make you understand that there are more Latin people than Mexicans?
Oh yes, he's opened my eyes. Like I honestly didn't know. I knew there was Cuban, but that's it. I mean, I didn't really understand. I didn't try to educate myself that
and
there
you're
was.
in college?
Yes.
What year in college?
Freshman.
What college?
You're a freshman. That ain't no excuse, child. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, oh, he's a freshman. Okay, let's give him some. Okay, there's Cubano, Dominicano, Mexicano, Colombiano, Venezuelano.
Is this a whole lot
Oh,
of people?
Salvadorian.
Yeah,
I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Peruvians.
Brazilians.
Brazil.
I mean, it goes on and on.
It does.
There's like all different types of Spanish. And there's some people in Spain that look like me.
Yes.
But they're
there is.
Spanish.
I don't know if there's anybody look like you, Tyra.
Well, you know. We'll be right back.